Hello everyone. Here's another video. First of all, let me just say, I really appreciate all the comments that some of you are making about the videos and so on. Hey, if you ever disagree with me, I really do hope that you will actually say so, because I think this is a discussion. What I'm intending to do here is to really just talk about what my thoughts are on this whole race situation. So hopefully, I want to be more helpful than I am actually hurtful to this whole thing of healing in our country. So, just a couple of things. It's my last video and stuff. A couple of different things have happened. Some of them positive and some of them not so positive. But I'd like to kind of go over some of the things that I thought were really positive. My wife and I were invited to a meeting held by her. I guess it's not really a boss, but her boss, the real estate company that she's working with, and they wanted us to come in and really just talk about our own experiences, and it was a great discussion. It was really, to me anyway. I thought it was worthwhile. I think we discussed the issues the way that I wish that all Americans would discuss the issue. I think there were questions in everybody's mind, and so I think ask those questions. To be honest with you, I told them how I was really tired. I was really exhausted. I really did not want to do that, but I felt it was necessary whenever somebody's inquiring and really wants to know something and really is asking the question from a situation where they really want to learn. Then I am more than happy to try and help them, no matter what. So a couple of things have happened since then, and in that particular meeting, it was a great discussion. Good questions were asked, and so anyway, those realtors, well done. Thank you for inviting us, and I think that was fantastic experience, and I hope it was beneficial for everybody that was there. With the whole COVID-19 situation in the fall, I've been kind of going, okay, should I retire? Is it time to retire? Is this something that? And I'm kind of right now. To be very honest with you, I'm up in the air. I'm not sure whether I'll be back or not to the school. I would like to be back because I think I still have the passion to teach, and but so I think, like most teachers, we're all sitting here trying to gather as much information as we possibly can to decide which way to go with it. So that was one thing that's kind of been on my mind, just trying to figure out, should I go? Should I go back or not? Here's a portion of a council city meeting that I came across. I think it was on Vimeo. I think it's on there the whole time. So if you really want to find it, I'll see if I can find a link and put it below. But just so you can see the whole thing. And I really don't want people to say, what, I took bits and pieces out of the meeting. But I want you to make your own observations about this clip, and then I'll talk about it afterwards. Okay, here's my take on this as a black person. Now remember, I've been in Mason for like 20 years now, so. And I think there are very well-meaning people, and I do. I honestly believe that Mason is not a bad place. I'm not saying that at all. So please make sure we're hearing this. And when I'm talking about Mason, I'm really not just talking about Mason. I'm talking about other small towns. As I listened to the mayor talk, I really felt bad, to be honest with you, because I'm trying to make a decision about whether to return or not. And to be very honest with you, when I hear those comments, it makes me go to the other side of not returning, because I'm not sure I really want to deal with that kind of mentality. First of all, I think the mayor pro tem, I believe it's Brown, Mayor pro tem Brown. I think he's on the right track. If I was me, I would say, you know what? He gets it. I honestly do. I think he means well. I think he's showing some good leadership and gives some great suggestions and so on. And also the person that brought it up, Rita Vogel. I think I can hear the passion in her. I can hear the logic in what she is saying, and I truly, truly understand it. Understand where she's coming from. I may not agree with everything she says, but I think that between her and and Mayor Pro Tem, I think that they have a good grasp on what is actually happening. I was a little disappointed with the mayor, to be honest with you. I was a little disappointed with his closed-minded attitude, I would say. And that's not to say he's a bad person, because I know he is not. I know the mayor himself. But I think that sometimes we do not realize the problems or the difficulty that people of color are having in our community, because we don't experience it. And I'm not blaming anybody, it's just that, you do not have the same experiences as I do. So as I listened to his comments, I kind of cringed a little bit, because the council just passed a resolution that was absolutely awesome, of inclusion. Okay. And that to me was a step in the right direction. The problem comes when it comes to allocating dollars, which basically, to me, allocating dollars, or as he says, the resources, whether it's dollars or it's time, that's where the hard work is. And that's where I tend to see the true commitment. Remember, I don't really care about what you're saying. I really want to see what your actions are. I tend to judge by actions. And so if you truly believe the resolution that you just passed, then whenever there's an instant for us to learn and to make ourselves better, I don't know why we wouldn't take it. Now, I understand that resources are scarce and everything else, but at least, like the Mayor Pro Tem says, at least look at the issue. And when we're talking about resources, we're not even talking about necessarily, going full-blown spending thousands and thousands of dollars on this. It might just be everybody in the city council reading a book. As simple as that. Reading a book and maybe discussing it at some point, or saying something. I don't know. There's several ideas that can be looked at. The mayor asked, "What's the issue?" I was a little baffled by that. But then later on, he also talks about he understands the issue. So I'm a little bit confused when he says that. And he says there's no problem in Mason, at least from the people that he heard. Now, maybe I'm taking this wrong, and if I am, please somebody correct me. But from what I'm hearing, he's saying, from what I've heard, he's convinced there's not a problem, right? But later on, he says, "I know what the issue is. I know what the topic is." Well, I'm a little bit confused by that also. Which is it? Is it that you don't understand the issue, or is it that you fully understand the issue and you don't think there's a need for this? So I don't know. I watched it and I was cringing the whole time, because I thought, and the mayor also goes on to say that I have had that training. I'm not sure when he's had the training or what it consisted of, but I don't know. That just sounds a little bit. Even I honestly don't even. For me, at times it's like I'm reading more and I'm learning more. Okay, and I'm learning more about the topic. sometimes, and I'm not, and by no means am I ever going to say I know all of it. There's just too much. There's too many pieces to the puzzle. So to say that I have done it and therefore I'm an expert at it, I really makes me think, you really do need this. It just seems that way to me. And he makes the statement. The issue, because remember now, he talked about the issue, and he said, I don't understand what the issue is. But he says, the issue does not exist here in Mason. Okay. A little confused. Okay. First, we don't know the issue. Then, the issue does not exist. So how do we know the issue doesn't exist if we don't know what the issue is? Okay. A little confused with that whole thing. And he also says, the problem doesn't lie with the council. I think I kind of disagree with that. Because you are the leadership. You are the ones that run the city. You are the ones that listen to it. Then, I think it's Miss Vogel comes back on, and she talks about some of the instances that have happened in our community. Okay. He dismisses all of that. Okay. That gives me pause. All of that stuff gives me pause because we must acknowledge the problem. If you do not know what the problem is, then maybe you need to talk to people of color in your community. Maybe we need to find out. I really like what the Mayor Pro Tem says, which is basically, look, let's gather the information first. Let's find out where we're at. Okay? And I'm thankful that the mayor said, yes, I will be open to that. But I question how open he is to it. When I tell people that I teach at Mason High School, at least the black people that I come in contact with, the response is usually, oh, wow, don't you deal with racism or whatever? And I say, no, you know what, I've been there for a long time. I'm fine. Yeah, there are instances that happen, but you know what, I just choose to live my life. And I will continue to do that. But to say, for a mayor to say that there is no problem. No, there is a problem in Mason. And I'm sorry, but you know what? It's a reflection of the world. And another thing I've always heard about Mason is that, you know what? Mason does not like outsiders. They don't like anybody else coming in. Now, I don't know if that's true or not. But again, from comments like that, from what I hear from the mayor, reinforces that to me as a black person, that you know what, you have to be a certain type of person to live in our particular community, right? So maybe that's not what he meant, but that's what I'm hearing. And so I guess my urge is, we really reassess that. And I believe that leadership has a huge part in how a community goes. So those that are sitting on the city council, yes, you do have a responsibility. And it's not about you, like the mayor was saying. You know what? It's really not about you per se. It's about the community that you are serving. It's about the people that you are serving. And some of the people that you are serving happen to be people of color that live in that vicinity. So I would say, you know what, take the time and actually talk to them. Maybe invite them over. Maybe invite them to a council meeting or whatever it is, and have them and discuss these things and try and learn as much as you can. Because you know what? Those black people in your community, they are with you. They are part of the community. They are just as proud of the community as you are, as you are. But I think we need to stop this. You know what? Because I haven't experienced it, and therefore it doesn't exist. No. We need more empathy when it comes to these types of situations, and I hope that the council will see that. And if they don't, if you really don't acknowledge that, I would say there's a problem, honestly. That that the council needs to deal with this. The council needs that that training that you guys are talking about. You know, and I'm not one to tell you how to get it or which direction that needs to go. That is something, you know, the mayor pro tem, he offered a couple of different solutions. But the question is, do we have the wherewithal and the will to do that? You know, yes, we passed the resolution. You passed the resolution about inclusion 7-0 with no problems whatsoever, which was great. And when I heard that news last week, I was like, yeah, all right, we're making progress. Mason's making progress. And then I hear this discussion, and it, to be very honest, it just disturbs me a little bit. Earlier in the video, I mentioned the discussion I had with the realtors, which again I say was very, very positive. And one of the things that I think really came out clear is sometimes I think white people feel like they're being attacked. Okay, like they're bad people, like this is something that is personal to them, all right? Like, oh, there's a black person, he thinks I'm a bad person, or whatever it is. I think one of the things, at least for me anyway, and I don't speak for all black people, let's just make that clear. I think part of the thing is we are talking about a systemic problem, which basically says, I am not talking to you as a white person. I am talking to the system that is there. It probably is a benefit when you're discussing certain issues that relate to a certain group, that you hear them out. That's really kind of all I'm saying, right? Because whether we, and I'm this way too. We are all tunnel visioned. We all know what our experiences are. And I think the more we share our experiences with each other, the more we see how people live, right? The more we listen to them, the more empathy we have for them, I think the less trouble we're going to have with all of this. Thank you.